You don't have universal healthcare? Well, how about universe healthcare? And welcome to Galacticare. Welcome to a new episode of Mole Thoughts. This time we are having a look at Galacticare, which is a hospital management sim, which is not taking itself too serious, and which is also heavily inspired by Two Point Hospital and Theme Hospital. Now, but before you think, oh, this is just Two Point Hospital in space, right? No, it isn't. There is much more to it, much more features, and more importantly, they did a lot of improvement of things people demanded for months or years for Two Point Hospital, and sometimes never got it. Like, let me just give you an example here with the rooms. Yes, you can make a copy of the room as you were used to in the other games that is immediately available at the release, but there are more things you can do in the rooms. You can also recolor them, you can rename them, and more importantly, you can save them as templates. So that means you only have to design a room once, then you save it, and you can take it with you between missions or even your sandbox games, which is just fantastic. You can also say which specific staff should frequent this room, and you can lock them actually to this room. But you can also give priorities on which sickness they should definitely treat first, because some sicknesses are more deadly than other ones. Like, let's say a shattered arm is not nice, nobody wants that, but it will probably not kill you quickly, while the voice is definitely something which will actually kill the patient relatively quickly. And you can see that in the diseases, right? You have a condition overview on how many patients you actually have in the hospital and how much dangerous that is. The whole scale goes from 0 to 3, and 2 is already pretty high. So the higher the danger, the faster they would die. So you definitely want to overlook some priorities. What you can also do is you can still just click on one of the patients and say, hey, you are now priority list number 1, and you will be treated immediately. You can also see a patient overview again, what is going on with your patients, in which condition they are in which treatment state they are in, and then you can prioritize them if you so desire. The same goes with your staff. You can see what your staff is working on, what they are good at, and more importantly, you can actually see a score, so you can kind of guess how good they are actually at their job and how much they're helping people. So the higher the number, the better. The lower, you might want to take care of that, and you want to look into what is going on. And then you also have a room overview. You can see how many rooms you have to treat certain patients and how many patients are in queue, and maybe you want to do something. Like right now, my diagnosis is overflowing and I might need more of those rooms, right? So it gives you a pretty good overview about what is going on. As I said, like in Two Point Hospital, you have tons of items you can just build in your hospital, and you can unlock even more you can see right now. You just have to play the game. There is no microtransactions in this game, so don't you worry, you just have to play it, and then you are slowly unlocking the things you can build in your hospital. But what I really love about this game is the campaign. This is a mission I finished. It's called Transport Tycoon. And it's basically a hospital in a train station, as you can see. So the patients are coming in with the trains, and your hospital is divided in 2 parts. So you have to think about that when you build your hospital. And then later on, you can, of course, get more rooms by paying money. And the missions are really great. Why are the missions great? Because they have a fantastic humor. As I said, the game is not taking itself seriously, and the humor is really great because it's also completely voice acted, and it's a very British humor they are following here. And it sometimes gets really dark. They have a lot of gallows humor. Like, let me just give you a quick example here. One of the little robots you are meeting at the beginning, it's called Medi, and he is like, oh boy, I'm so happy to work with you, and I'm looking forward to this, and because I'm a real boy, right? And then the hospital AI is literally kicking in the door and is like, no, Medi, you're not real. You're not alive. You will be deleted at some point. Deal with it. I was like, whoa, what just happened here? He's so cute. Why are you doing this? Like, they have some really great dark humor. And I highly recommend to play the campaign just for that. But definitely one of the things I love about the campaign is that every mission is very different. I just talked about this specific mission. Like a mission before that, you are going to the Burning Moon festival where people just want to blow up a moon, and they have like a lot of like rock stars on the stage, and there's just a huge party going on in the background, and you have to treat the patients and you have to treat the stars. And sometimes you have to do that under a lot of pressure because they have to be on stage in 5 minutes, so you better be prepared to help them in just 5 minutes, right? So the missions are really versatile and different. And before you ask, is there a sandbox mode? Yes, there are multiple sandbox modes. And after you are done with a mission like this one, you can just play those missions as a sandbox mode. You probably have already realized that I have like some illness I'm not ready to treat there, because those are patients from a later mission I did with a new illness which came in, which I didn't really had at this point in this mission. So they can also now just pop up in previous missions, and you have to take care of them, which I don't do for this video purpose, but you get the idea. Now, with that all said, what does the game make different? What's so different? Well, as I said, the campaign and all that is already pretty nice, but yes, the game does do some things different. One of them are the heroes. Wait, the what now? Yeah, they are heroes in the game. Or, well, they are consultants. Sorry. They are consultants. And this one is Dr. Twiggy Pop. And she will gain XP, right? She has also different abilities. And yes, she has different skins. Like one of her abilities is music, which will make all the other doctors work just better. And you can also have a skill tree. Yes, you are earning XP and then you are leveling them up, and you can choose like the skills they are slowly getting over time to make them even better. And that is definitely something which makes the game interesting, because you want to decide, okay, which direction do I want to take with them? Do they make more money? Should they treat patients faster? Should they just keep going without a break? Like, there's definitely some choices you have to make. And as I said, the cool thing is this is all transferring over the missions, so you want to make the right decisions. The only thing which is not transferring is the doctors, right? Like, doctors are definitely something which is just available from mission to mission, so you have to keep that in mind. But the consultants are definitely being transferred over the different missions. Another thing which you definitely have to account for is your patients and your doctors, because as I said, this is Galacticare. So you have tons of different patients which are just different races, right? Which are coming from different galaxies, from different planets, and they all have different needs, and more importantly, they have also different things they hate. Like Dr. Trunk, right here, he is a nice guy, but he has one particular issue. He's pretty big, as you can see. He's a big boy, and he needs room. He hates it when the corridor is congested, and that means his mood would just go down much faster. And while with a doctor, that's still like okay-ish, it gets far more problematic with a patient, because when their mood is going down, that also means their health is going down, and that means they will die faster. So when you are building your hospital, you definitely want to make sure that you are accounting for the different needs of the races, right? And then build your hospital. And by the way, there are also different lenses if you really want to know, like, where's the corridor congestion? Oh, it's right here. Maybe I should take care of that, right? Or how are the queues going? Like, there are definitely different things you have to look out for. Another thing which is unique to this game, and glad that it just popped up, there's crafting in the game in items. Wait, what? Yeah, just one of the traveling merchants arrived, as you can see here, and they are selling me a lot of useful stuff. Things you cannot just get through building the rooms or building objects, and you have to pick from the merchant. If the merchant is not available, you can also just go into your inventory and ignore the meteor shower, which is just devastating my hospital here. And then you can just craft items you need. You can just craft them with crafting materials. You can see the crafting materials right here. And how do you get the crafting materials? Well, by just doing quests or popping those little buggers. There's a craftel. There are different ones. There's also one for money and all that. And you can just pop them, and then you get the materials. And then I could build another Medibot. And then I can just say, okay, you know what? I have now the Medibot. It is time to set them free, and this is how they work for me. This is how you get more janitors, right? By crafting more Medibots or build them, and then they're taking care of your hospital. So the crafting is also really neat, and you are unlocking more and more crafting recipes and more items you can just utilize to improve your rooms, to improve your doctors. Like this one is a gateway, the Loom Gate, which is basically another exit or entrance into the hospital. If you want to get more people and want to have them quicker out of your hospital, you can do that. Or you have teleporters so that doctors can just teleport around the hospital faster. Like, they have some really neat stuff here. Now, before we are wrapping this up, there is something I have to mention, and there is definitely something to be said about the performance. I've been now playing this game for a month, and the performance have been improved drastically. But the bigger your hospital becomes, the more people are running around. It definitely puts a strain on your PC. Even on my relatively high-end PC, the game sometimes has issues when I'm zooming out to keep up with the 60 FPS. The closer you are at the things happening at your hospital, 60 FPS is not an issue at all. But the more you're zooming out, there's definitely some strain on weaker systems, and you might want to turn down the graphics a bit, or you don't mind that those type of games are going under 60 sometimes. But don't get me wrong, this is not that this game cannot run 60. It runs 60 most of the time. There are just times where it doesn't, and I'm pretty sure they can figure that kink out and fix it. It's not really something I noticed. I just want to mention it. This is not a City Skylines 2 situation where they said, nah, we are not trying to reach 60 or anything. Most of the time the game is just running at 60 and it's fine. I didn't see any bugs or other big issues. I think there was one time an issue with the pathing on one of my characters, but that happens once in a month I played this game. So yeah, not really a big deal. But all in all, I really have to say, I enjoyed this game greatly. There's a lot of fun here. They did a lot of improvement to things people just wanted in Two Point Hospital and never got. That's the reality. And I'm so glad that they did that. I'm also glad about the humor, the British humor in particular, the gallows humor they are sometimes bringing up. The animations are great. There are so many details here. If you love to decorate hospitals, if you love those type of hospital management sims, and you just thought, man, I would have loved to see like more DLCs to Two Point Hospital or Two Point Hospital 2, this game is absolutely right up your alley, and you should definitely give it a chance. I think it's worth it with the amount of content here. I'm now in the 5th mission, and I put over 25 hours into it. Again, there's a sandbox mode or multiple sandbox mode you can just jump into, and you can also play the missions as sandbox after you finish them. So there is definitely content here for sometimes even hundreds of hours of gameplay. So if you are somebody who loves to play a game for a long time, this game could just be it. I think there's also a demo available. I'm not sure if that is still the case, so check that out if you haven't yet. But for me, I really love this game. I really enjoy it. It's great. It has a lot of quality. It has a lot of love in it. And it's, well, just doing its job. It's fun. So with that said, I have to go back to take care of some of my needy patients and make some money off them. With that said, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to leave a like. if you did, and also if you really enjoyed it, you want to see more reviews, more strategy games in general here on the Mole Under Management channel, please don't forget to subscribe. And with that said, take care, and I'll see you next time. Bye.